It's time now for the Roadie Roundup. We are chatting about some of the headlines making the rounds this week. Let's meet our panel. Meredith Nordum Ewenson from Newport Film is still with us. Nick G. from Hot 106 and blogger Andrea McHugh of Newport Style File. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
First up, we were talking about this morning. Apparently, people who post a lot of selfies, like 6 or more per day, could have some depression problems. You guys were saying you may not be the best at taking selfies.
No, I feel like I'm quite the opposite.
Yes.
If I take 6 in a year, I think I feel like I'm doing pretty well.
Right.
So I would maybe agree with that survey.
What do you think it is about people who do take a lot of them? Do you think they're looking for some sort of,
validation or, yes,
from people on Instagram?
I saw someone taking a selfie with the unicorn frappuccino in Starbucks the other day, and it was just really funny. And again, there was a big age differential between the two of us.
Right.
She did this great shot, just smiling, good. And I looked miserably, went back to her computer.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different situation, but that sounds like it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's so many times that people are so busy taking a selfie, they're not enjoying the moment at all.
No, they're not enjoying it. But for me, I kind of look at it from the other side. There are people that make millions of dollars on
true.
Instagram just by taking a picture of themselves wherever they are. So I would like that, and I would like to be better at that.
Yeah.
Are you a good selfie taker?
For the job, I need to be, but I need to be better, I think. But there is no money attached to it. So again, that's on me.
Also, when you take a picture, are you good about picking the right filter, or do you just go, oh, natural, Nick?
Yeah, I have someone do that for me.
Oh, you have people.
I have people.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
you're going to have to swing them by you.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, selfies now are becoming so prevalent that I think some people don't even really think about it. It's just, that's what they do throughout their day. They selfie their whole day. So in that way, you can't blame them really, but I do agree, you're not really in the moment, and if you're not making a bunch of cash, what are you doing it for?
Yeah, what are you doing it for? Right, a lot of you. Next up, another study shows that people who are always late are more successful and live longer. Are you someone who's punctual?
I'm going to live forever. No, it is not my strong suit. If it's a surprise party or something that's critical, I can get there. I am what's called time impoverished.
Time impoverished,
That's
all right.
a very sexy term right now, and I think I try to push too much in my day. So I try my best, but I'm not sure if
But what if what if you're having a meeting with someone and they're late?
I don't get angry. No, I get a cup of coffee, and I say these are my people.
Okay.
I love you right away.
All right. Okay. Are you on time?
I think this is a time and place situation. Like you said, if it's for a meeting, if it's for work, if it's something really important, you have to be on time. It's always not a bad idea to be a little bit late, not too late. I think this is someone who is just super late, who did the study and just needs an excuse. So he's like, I'm late, I'm more successful, I'm going to live longer.
I think a lot of times people who are late, maybe they're just kind of like, whatever, I'll get there. And they're no stress. Or maybe that's the image that they're putting off.
I'm jealous of those people sometimes because I can get stressed when I'm late.
Yes.
I'm a pretty on-time person. That being said, I understand the time impoverishment, and when you got to fit things in, you just got to fit them in. And sometimes
ballpark.
Yeah,
Right.
ballpark, and you got to do everything you can to fit it in the day. And if that makes you 5 minutes late for your friend getting coffee, they can wait.
Then it happens.
The struggle is real.
Next up, speaking of living longer, the world's oldest human just died at 146 years old in Indonesia. Now, supposedly, he does have the documentation to prove that he was 146. There is some question, but would you want to live that long?
That sounds
146 years old.
It's interesting that we didn't hear about it at 110 or 120 or 130, but now we're hearing it at 146.
He actually said in an interview years ago, he's like, I'm done. I want to die.
I don't blame him.
Would you want to go that long?
I can't. I mean, it's crazy to think about what they've seen and what they could talk about, but that sounds like a really peculiar situation to be in. I don't know if that's ideal.
You checking out early, or do you
No,
want to hang in there?
absolutely. As long as I can be here, I'd like to be here.
too.
But I'm going to go back to the guy. I think it's a great play. Just to say, I'm 146.
What do you got?
Who's going to question him? I have papers that may or may not be true, but I love the play. And the next person, I think, is in the 120s. So why not ballpark at 146? Who's going to reach you?
At
Who's going to get
At
there?
146, do you still have play, or are you still working?
That's also a great point. Maybe that's the only thing you can muster and say 146, and that's it.
That's it. And you want to stick around to 146?
Not quite that long. I think that sounds like a lonely time, being the only person who's been.
115 is good for you? 115,
Yeah,
120?
100-ish will be fine.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
take
so
that.
too. You hear some people who are saying, "Oh, I don't want to live to 100." I'm like, "Why? Where are you going? What do you stick around for a
100
while."
would be fun.
100 would be fun.
After that, I think it could get a little tough.
Yeah, you've done everything.
Yeah.
By then you're tired.
You don't have
Triple
really an
digits is the
audience.
goal.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Sometimes at
Totally
47, I'm
doable.
like, God, I'm just so tired. I want a nap. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Always great catching up with our panel.